国目前的单身人数超过2.4亿人，其中单身青年人数
China now has over 240 million single people, including 134 million young adults. In cities, nearly 57% of those aged 25 to 29 are still single. If this trend continues, China's single population may exceed 300 million by the end of the year, twice the population of Japan. Quite a shock. For many in China nowadays, marriage is no longer a necessary life choice.
我们的年轻人就要彻底摊牌了，婚姻再也束缚不了新时代的年轻人们。
Especially for single men, dating and marriage are starting to feel like a trap. Here's one real case to explain.
现在的结婚就是把
Today, marriage has become a quick way for some women to unload their own or their entire family's financial troubles. Last year, I went on a blind date. Just a few days after we met, she said she wanted to marry quickly as long as I paid about $48,000 in bride price. But when I visited her home, the truth came out. Turns out she had just been released from prison and was completely broke. Her family also was deep in poverty, and her younger brother needed money to get married. Like we talked about all the time, another victim of China's bride price issue. She was banking on marrying a man to get that money. If someone gave her that $48,000, the whole family would be saved. Her brother could marry and they'd have enough to live on. And me? I'd be expected to support her, let her live in my house, and spend my money. That's terrifying. Who would willingly be that kind of sucker?
后来我去了像他家里，我靠，我才知道真实的情况。什么情况你知道吗？
This is the real state of the marriage market today. Marriage has turned into a clear-cut way to pay off debt, and some women are scamming men outright.
比捞女更可怕的是什么？是画债女。捞女诈你一时。
What's worse than a gold digger? A woman who uses marriage to wipe out her or her family's debt. A gold digger might scam you for a while, but these women take your money, your marriage, your emotions, and leave you ruined for life. It's becoming more common. They're urgently searching for someone to take over their problems, using marriage as a financial restructuring tool. Some ask for huge dowries before the wedding just to pay off their own debt. By the time the man catches on, the money's gone, and so is she.
最终导致的结果就是人财两空。
Today, more and more Chinese men are afraid of marriage. Some won't even get into a relationship, and here are the top 3 reasons why. First, trust ruined. A growing number of women prioritize financial gain over love.
现在有很多男人，他们都开始防着女人了。
Many men are growing cautious of women, thinking too many are only in it for the money. And in stories of betrayal or bad experiences, and even when they meet someone sincere, they hesitate to trust her or let her have a say in the relationship. These issues are making dating harder. Some women's bad behavior has made men suspicious of all women, which sadly means even honest, respectable women aren't trusted either.
他们把好女人都搞得没什么市场了。
This ties into the distorted views many women in China now have about relationships. Some scam men into marriage, others keep multiple men on the hook, collecting gifts or money from all of them, and some just flat out treat men like ATMs.
你看看现在有多少女性打着谈恋爱的旗号。
A lot of women say they're dating, but really they're messaging several guys at once. They claim they're just observing, but it's often to squeeze out more perks, free meals, gifts, even money. Some of the men are way more qualified than the women rejecting them, but still they're strung along anyway because the woman enjoys the benefit of keeping things vague. Even after marriage, mismatched values lead to constant arguments. That emotional drain day after day wears people down. Some women constantly compare their husbands to their friends' boyfriends or husbands, and the more they compare, the more they think they married the wrong guy. But they rarely communicate honestly or reflect on their own role in the problem.
却从不好好的沟通和反思自己。
Even worse, some treat relationships as pure transactions. Men are simply cash machines. In recent years, consumerism has swept through Chinese society, and in the dating scene, it's created what people call the gold digger economy.
不惜掏空钱包，为一句“你爱我吗”背上网贷。
Some men will burn through their savings just to hear the words "I love you." They'll borrow money to buy designer lipsticks, chase down limited edition handbags, reserve lavish hotel suites, and stage picture-perfect candlelight dinners. It's not just their wallets on the line, they lay their hearts on the table, hoping it'll be enough. Meanwhile, certain consumer-obsessed women grow more and more dependent on men's financial support. To keep the upper hand, they're upgrading their tactics.
提供物质基础，又奉献情绪价值。他们用美颜滤镜打造完美形象，用爱
Some women use beauty filters to create a perfect illusion of themselves. They use vague, flirty language to build a fantasy of romance and deliberately show off to make men jealous or feel competitive. Believe it or not, there are now coaching classes for women on how to get men to spend money, how to manipulate relationships, guide male spending habits, and even how to make an affair work. These courses have already turned into a booming industry. With this mindset, many women now feel it's only natural that their boyfriend or husband should fund their lavish lifestyle. During an important holiday like Spring Festival, if a man brings a gift worth less than $14,000 to visit her family, it's not seen just as stingy, it's considered an insult to her and her entire family.
如果只有10万，那就是对方家庭不尊重自己。
捞女经济说白了就是很
The gold digger economy was built on men paying for women's luxury spending, and it was everywhere. But now, more men refuse to play along. This system is starting to collapse. In the past, many women used luxury brands to show off their status, most of it paid for by men. Now luxury stores are seeing fewer customers and profits are falling fast. High-end travel, expensive vacations, those are taking a big hit too, because men just aren't spending like they used to.
6、7位数的旅游度假都会受到冲击。
As Chinese men exit the dating and marriage market in large numbers, they've triggered a full-blown gold digger economy crisis. Many women who were used to living large suddenly lost their source of funds. Their debts started piling up, and now some have even landed on the credit blacklist. The second reason, women with average qualities often have unrealistically high expectations. In today's matchmaking market, many women are older, average in looks, unemployed, or between jobs with no stable income. Their hobbies include traveling, baking, staying home, following celebrities, or cycling, and yet they believe they're unique and special. So they expect a lot from men. For example, when they say they want a man with a stable job, what they really mean is he must have money. When they say ambition, it means he will definitely get richer. When they say family values, it often means he should hand over his entire paycheck. Even if they only graduated from high school, they expect the man to have gone to a top university. They want him to stay calm all the time, always be patient, and even help take care of her parents. They say they're straightforward, but they often just lack emotional intelligence and speak without thinking. They emphasize independence, but they can barely support themselves financially. With expectations like these, many men aren't avoiding love because they don't want it, they're avoiding it because they're scared of it. Reason 3. Some women contribute less to marriage and avoid responsibility. Why should I get married? It'll just make me poorer. This sentiment reflects how many men born after the 1990s think. They don't want marriage, no kids, no house, no car, just a simple life. I've got tens of thousands saved, I live comfortably on my own, so why marry? I don't see anyone out there who would actually make my life better. If I make $3,000 a month and she only makes $300, I'm still expected to support her? Most women today can't even do basic housework, so I'd have to cook, clean, make money, and manage her emotions too. That's not the kind of relationship I want. For me, marriage like this only adds pressure. These days, people don't marry for love, they marry based on money and conditions. That kind of marriage. Reason 4. The financial pressure of dating and marriage is crushing.
首先，从男方的角度来看，经济上的压力可能是最主要的因素。我们虽然提倡男女平等
From a man's point of view, financial stress is one of the biggest reasons they avoid marriage. Even though gender equality is promoted, traditional Chinese culture expects men to bear almost all the marriage costs, especially the bride price. In 2023, the average annual disposable income in China was about $5,400. That means a guy would need to save for years just to afford the typical bride price, which in many areas now ranges from $42,000 to $56,000 or more. For an average family, even with strict budgeting, it's almost impossible to cover that on their own. Most still need help from their parents, and that doesn't even include a house, a car, or the wedding itself. After the wedding, the man is still expected to carry most of the load: mortgage, car payments, and kids' education. Raising one child all the way through college easily costs tens of thousands of dollars. These overwhelming financial burdens are pushing men to skip both marriage and parenthood entirely.
婚姻，远离生育。
Many are starting to predict, as more men lose interest in marriage and walk away from the dating market, we'll see a lot more women chasing men instead of the other way around.
现在男生都不愿意结婚，不敢结婚，有钱的不愿意结。
These days, guys just don't want to get married. The rich ones are enjoying life alone and don't want the burden. The poor ones, they're too scared to even try. The costs of a house and a car are already overwhelming. Since men are expected to carry all the financial weight, unless things change, the number of marriages will keep dropping.
全部成本，如果改变不了现状，以后结婚的人只会越来越少。
And it's not just men. More women in China are also choosing to stay single.
2022年全国本科招生。
According to stats from 2022, 4.68 million people were admitted to universities in China. Among them, 2.95 million were women and only 1.73 million were men. That's nearly a 2-to-1 ratio. It's the same in master's and doctoral programs. For many highly educated women, marriage just isn't essential anymore. They can earn a stable income and live comfortably on their own. So they're not exactly motivated to take on the risks or stress of marriage. On the flip side, influenced by commercial marketing and media, some women now have unrealistic standards, demanding high income, a home, top-tier education, and a perfect personality. Even women with average conditions are hoping for exceptional men. That's another reason why more women are choosing to stay single.
那么他们也就没必要承担结婚的风险了。
Some believe Chinese men have finally seen the truth behind marriage. From pricey dowries to emotional labor, material demands to unequal responsibility, it's starting to look like a high-risk, low-return deal. Data shows that more than 71% of Chinese men born after 1995 are still unmarried. In the first 3 quarters of 2024, only 4.75 million couples registered for marriage, a drop of 940,000 compared to last year. That's a big 20% decline. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.